Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome to the very last episode of Universe Mode before Clash at the Castle, the big premium live event, the last big one for the main roster here in WWE 2k22. It is Friday Night SmackDown live here in Detroit, Michigan. Hope you guys are ready for this one. If you are, make sure you drop that like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more Universe Mode content. Let's take a look at the show. First off, we're going to have Bayley go one-on-one against Sonya Deville. Next up, we'll have LA Knight in singles action. He'll take on Mustafa Ali, who will have Mansoor in his corner. Then after that tag action, it'll be the new Retribution, T-Bar, and Mace back together, teaming up to face Hit Row, Top Dollar, and Ashante the Adonis. Semifinals are the main factor tonight. We'll see Io Sky and Asuka and Charlotte Flair versus Alexa Bliss. The winners of those two matches will face off at Clash of the Castle for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Bayley is successful in her match, so is LA Knight and Hit Row. They beat Mace and T-Bar, and now it's time for the first semifinal matchup. We see Mustafa Ali walking in the back. He did lose tonight against LA Knight, trying to catch up with Mansoor just to kind of go about what happened in that matchup. And Mansoor actually walks away from Mustafa Ali. So very interesting development there. We do know that the team of Ali and Mansoor has hit a little bit of a cold stretch. Maybe some frustration boiling over between those two. But now it is time for the main course in tonight's show. It's semifinals. 4 women are left in the SmackDown Women's Championship tournament, and the winners of the next 2 matches will face off at Clash at the Castle for that vacant championship. Making her way to the ring first is Io Sky. She's come back in a big way here at SmackDown, making a name for herself in this tournament. And she has an opportunity tonight to face one of the top women of the blue brand. A big statement win for Io Sky. Big statement match it would be for her in this one. She has to go battle against the Empress of Tomorrow. Some might consider this a dream match. Io Sky versus Asuka will be up next. Hope you guys are enjoying this one and you are ready for more wrestling content here on the channel. I appreciate all the support you guys have given me so far. 2K23, my GM mode has been going phenomenal so far. I have really enjoyed it. It seems like you guys have as well. I appreciate the support. But if you want to support the channel, another way you can is to buy some Rogue Energy. If you're interested in buying Rogue Energy, I have a referral link in the description of all of my videos. If you use it and use code Mr. Rob, you get 10% off your purchase. And it helps the channel out as I get a little bit of that. So you don't have to, but if you like Rogue Energy, you might as well just use code Mr. Rob. Who else would you use, if I might add? But Asuka has made her way to the ring as we get ready for this contest. This should be a big one. So it looks like the crowd here in Detroit, Michigan is ready as well. I think I am. It's Io Sky versus Asuka. Winner moves on to Clash at the Castle, and here we go. Go to the center of the ring. Both superstars already starting to trade strikes, and I have a feeling it's going to be very strike heavy in these matchup. Both these women love to lay it on. They hit like stiff shots, hard strikes. Asuka very much known for her striking ability. Io Sky also known for her strikes, more of a aerial superstar, I would say. She is known as the Genius of the Sky. After all, is right on cue, already over the top rope, 2 at the top turnbuckle. Asuka gets hit with a leg drop. Io might not have caught all of that one. Is not quite sure who got the worst on the way down for that one, but it looks like Io's okay as she's continuing the offense here on Asuka. Double knees. Gets her back to her feet. Going to send her up over the top rope. Asuka holds on and gets met with a stiff right for a good measure. Back in the corner is Asuka as Io hits the turnbuckle. What she have lined up for here? Goes for a big elbow. Knocks down the Empress of Tomorrow. Well, Io Sky looked very good so far in this matchup. As hold on, cover real quick here on Asuka. Gets one, it almost gets a 2 count. But Io has had a very hot start to her blue brand. If you take away her short appearance after WrestleMania, we saw Io actually confront Asuka on the SmackDown after WrestleMania. And those two shook hands on that night, but ever since then, Io was dealing with an ankle injury. There's a nice elbow drop off the top turnbuckle. Io seems like she's recovered from that ankle injury, was entered into the SmackDown Women's Championship tournament in the first round. She scored what some people would consider an upset. She knocked off Bayley in that matchup. Bayley, another new superstar to the Blue Brand. She was recently traded to SmackDown for Raquel Rodriguez. And Bayley, coming in confident, gets knocked off by Sky. So that's why you can never underestimate anybody in this tournament. As Io Sky, even in this matchup, looking very impressive. Asuka knocked off Sonya Deville to get to that spot here tonight. As speaking of Deville and Bayley, we saw them face off earlier in the nights. Both losers of last round matchups got another match against each other just to kind of see where the playing field is on the SmackDown women's side of things. Is very much up in the air. Championship is currently vacant. We saw Becky Lynch have to vacate the championship after successfully cashing in at SummerSlam thanks to a shoulder injury. As Io again off the top rope with a nice elbow drop. So just trying to find the landscape here. As now goes for a cover, gets two on Asuka, but Asuka kicks out in the nick of time as Io Sky has been all offense in this one. She's looked very good doing it. Goes for a kick to the midsection. Asuka with the counter. Look to bundle Io Sky up for a nice suplex there. Nice headlock on that one as well. As Asuka now looking for a bit of offense. Kick to the midsection here. This is not where you want to be. As Asuka goes for the hip attack, but Io Sky quick to roll out the way. Nice counter there by the genius of the Sky. And she's going to connect with a drop kick to the face for her own good measure. And Asuka down in the center of the ring. This is not where you want to be. Io's on the top turnbuckle. What's she got in mind? Well, Asuka wisely gets to her feet. Maybe realizes that moonsault's coming. But Io still trying to fire herself up. Double clotheslines and a super kick right on the jaw. Might have put Asuka's lights out. Gets two here, and Asuka barely kicks out in the nick of time. Io Sky with some impressive offense here, and she's not done. Quickly again to that top turnbuckle. Asuka's in the drop zone. Io turns around and connects beautifully with the moonsault. Sky could be moving on to the finals here. Gets two, but no. Asuka gets the right shoulder up in the nick of time. Io thought she had three. She connected with that picture-perfect moonsault, but Asuka able to stay alive in this matchup. Now Io having Asuka propped up on the top turnbuckle. What does she have in mind here? As Asuka dazed up there, Io's going to follow her, and this is very dangerous ground. A Spanish fly from the top turnbuckle. How about that from Io, laying it all on the line here, showing how much she wants to be SmackDown Women's Champion. And just like that, Io back to the top turnbuckle. She's going to go for that moonsault again, and she connects for a second time. The second moonsault of the matchup. Io gets two, and she is the winner here tonight. Io Sky with a huge win over Asuka, and she has punched her ticket to Cardiff. What an impressive showing for Io's short time here on SmackDown, but she is making the most of it. Beat Bayley in the first round, beat Asuka here tonight. And Io Sky has a date for the gold in just 24 hours. Big win here for Io tonight as she continues to celebrate her victory. As, hold on a second, Asuka back to her feet here. Io's going to extend the hand. And again, these two superstars showing that respect for one another. Great sportsmanship by Io and Asuka. Well, now it's time for our main event and to figure out who will be joining Io Sky in Cardiff, Wales at Clash of the Castle for that SmackDown Women's Championship match. And one of the next two superstars is making her way to the ring now. None other than the Queen herself, Charlotte Flair. When we talk about championships, it's hard not to talk about Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair, multi-time Women's Champion. She's done it all here in the WWE. Recently actually held the SmackDown Women's Championship. Lost it earlier this year at the Backlash pay-per-view. Took a little bit of a hiatus, but the Queen is back here. Saw that the championship was vacant. There was a tournament to crown it. And, well, Charlotte Flair thought, can't have a tournament to crown a new champion without the Queen herself. And Charlotte Flair looks to add another championship to her resume, but it's not going to be easy as she makes her way into the ring here. Fans in Detroit, Michigan, not all too pleased, so to say, to see Charlotte back here on Friday Night SmackDown. But will she be able to shut the fans up? It's not going to be easy, though, as she's going up against the Goddess, the Queen versus the Goddess. Making her way to the ring, Alexa Bliss is the other superstar in this semifinal matchup. Bliss recently reuniting with Nikki ASH as she has come back to the Alexa Bliss of old, it seems, thanks to her best friend turning her back to the good side. And ever since then, Alexa Bliss has looked pretty dominant. She was victorious at SummerSlam, recently drafted over to Friday Night SmackDown, won her first round matchup, and is here tonight. Another multi-time women's champion. Two of the greats here in the women's roster going at it here in our main event. Charlotte Flair versus Alexa Bliss. The winner moves on to Clash at the Castle to now battle Io Sky for the vacant SmackDown Women's Championship. As we are underway in this one, Flair quickly a Bliss up on her shoulders. It connects with a backpack stunner. What a way to start this matchup off. Definitely stuns Alexa Bliss. But Bliss maybe playing a little bit of possum. Shrugs off the Queen. Goes for a nice bulldog elixir slide. No, arm drag takedown. Nice move there by Alexa Bliss. I think that's what Bliss has got to use in her matchup. As you can see, Bliss very much undersized in this one. Charlotte is strong. She's bigger. Is on display here. Has her up on the apron and connects with a nice backdrop across the hardest part of the ring. I was going to say Bliss needs to do a good job of just using her speed to get the upper hand in this one. But Charlotte Flair, she's the queen for a reason. She's a multi-time champion. And she knows all about scouting her opponent. There's a nice arm drag there by Bliss. That's Alexa Bliss going one-on-one here with Flair. Throws her into the steel steps. Both superstars able to get into this matchup by beating their respective opponents. Flair was able to knock off Nikki ASH in her first round matchup. So actually, coincidentally, Bliss's partner, Alexa Bliss, was able to knock off Aaliyah to get to this spot. As there's a nice drop kick from Alexa Bliss. Takes down Charlotte Flair. Right into some trademark Bliss offense. Double knees into the midsection. We have to think Io Sky, nothing against her, but Io is very much green here to the main roster, while both of these women have won both Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships on multiple occasions. So you have to think maybe the winner of this matchup could be the favorite to walk out of Cardiff as the new SmackDown Women's Champion, as Bliss goes for a cover, but Charlotte quickly is able to kick out of this one. Bliss, it's been a while since she's held a SmackDown Women's Championship. While Charlotte Flair was champion earlier this year, she actually main evented WrestleMania against Ronda Rousey. Was able to retain her SmackDown Women's Championship on that night. Unfortunately for Flair, did lose it in a submissions match at Backlash shortly after. Flair, it has not been as long between drinks as it has been for her opponent here tonight. As there's a big slap across the face. Flair just taking it to her competitor here tonight. Is going to put her up and drop her with a nice knee breaker there. As Flair already targeting the limbs. Maybe setting up for a future figure eight. As now this is textbook Flair offense. Drops the knee across the forehead now. Going to quickly put some pressure here for the cover, but only gets a 1 count. As Bliss is able to stay alive in this matchup. Alexa Bliss, we talked about her and Nikki ASH recently reforming their alliance. Recently being drafted back over here to the SmackDown brand. As there's a nice sunset flip there for Alexa Bliss. She does have Nikki in her corner, you can see here tonight. Glad to see Bliss come back to the good side and kind of just re-embrace this old self. As knees into the midsection and the more knees. Trademark Bliss offense, as it seems like it is paying off for her here tonight. As Bliss now trying to move on to the finals now. Gets 2 and almost pins Charlotte Flair and punches her ticket. But Bliss, you got to stay on the offense here. Get Flair back to her feet. Flair kick to the midsection here. Cuts off the offense and a big boot for good measure. Down goes Bliss. I could have rocked her. And then a chop across the chest. Don't want to be here. It's natural selection. Flair plants Bliss head first into the mat. Gets 2. And that is all she wrote. Just like that. Charlotte Flair able to pick up the victory. All it takes is one opening. And Charlotte Flair will capitalize. The big boot, followed by the natural selection, pins Bliss And now Charlotte Flair has punched her ticket to Cardiff. And we know the matchup for the SmackDown Women's Championship. It'll be Charlotte Flair versus Io Sky in just 24 hours. We will have a new Women's Champion. Who will it be as Charlotte Flair celebrates her win? Hold on a second, on the stage, there's Io Sky. A little bit of stare down between champions, or challengers, excuse me. Wait a second, on the outside, that's Austin Theory attacking Pat McAfee. McAfee's just been sitting here at ringside commentating this episode, and Theory from out of nowhere must have came through the crowd just laying it in to Pat McAfee. We know the history between these two. McAfee has a victory over Theory at WrestleMania. Austin Theory now recently drafted over to Friday Night SmackDown. He's wasted no time picking up where he left off in this encounter, but a cheap shot from behind. What kind of message does this send? Who does that make you? As Theory now, cheap shot taking it to McAfee. McAfee, yes, he's wrestled a couple matches, but he's not a trained competitor. Into the barricade goes McAfee. Oh, he's trying to fight back here, though. Here comes Pat. Don't count him out, but Theory again there to cut him off, takes him down on the outside, and connects with a moonsault. Austin Theory, bitter against Pat McAfee. Recently dropping the United States Championship over on Raw. Theory has not been the best month span for him. Trying to make a new chapter for himself here on Friday Night SmackDown, but this is not how you go about it. You don't attack somebody from behind. As Theory lining up McAfee here on the outside. Kick to the midsection here. Gonna tie it. McAfee flip him over on the bottom on the outside on the very thin pouting. Theory making a statement in his books, but that was just a disgusting play there. We need some medical attention for Pat McAfee on the outside. That's going to do it for our final SmackDown here on WWE 2k22. Next stop is Clash of the Castle, and we now know it's official. Charlotte Flair versus Io Sky. The winner will be the new SmackDown Women's Champion. Also, we have two other championship matches at Clash of the Castle. A triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. Ricochet, who's had a pretty dominant reign, has arguably his biggest challenge yet. Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross. A triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. But our main event, it all comes down to this. Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre, they'll fight again. There will be no bloodline, no shenanigans at ringside because these two will be locked inside a steel cage. Roman's been Universal Champion for over 2 years. Can Drew McIntyre, in front of his fans in Cardiff, in that dominant reign, will Roman Reigns solidify himself as the greatest of all time? We'll have to find out all at Clash of the Castle as the last PLA here for the main roster. Cannot wait to bring it to you guys. I'm going to try to get it to you guys this week, and I'm going to work hard the next couple of days to get it done. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you have, make sure you drop that like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more Universe Mode content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.